My dear friends, today on the Roboty channel, we came to visit Dominik from the Dominik Maluje channel. A warm welcome to you all. A few years ago, we made an episode with Dominik about cleaning paving stones. A really cool before and after effect. Today we'll be cleaning as well.
Yes, but this time it's the facade. I hope we see a good before and after. Honestly, it really needs washing since it's covered in algae. This is the type of wall that's always in the shade. It's constantly damp and hardly ever dries. Our job is to remove it, protect it at the end, and also clean up after ourselves. That lamp is in charge of Wojtek here, because Wojtek, this is a channel where you try out different professions, right? So I shouldn't feel guilty that you did all the cleaning, right? I said I'd clean your paving stones for 10 bucks and he transferred 10,000. About 10 per square meter, so with around 200, that's 2,000 zlotys.
So you make 1,000 zlotys an hour?
Sometimes even in half an hour. And everyone multiplies that by the number of hours. So if I'm here for 10 hours, that's 10,000 zlotys a day. And obviously 365 days I wash, because, you know, that's how much I wash. So that's, you know, about 3,600,000 in a season. That's the kind of money we're talking about. We just, oh. Did I pull that out? It'll wash off.
What has changed in your business in recent years?
The good thing is there are many customers, so I no longer have to travel far. That's positive, though overall everything else seems the same.
Things are always happening. Dominik is active. Dominik is constantly developing. And you, my dear viewers, if you would like to start your own business just like Dominik, but if you have any doubts about whether you can handle choosing the business activity codes or selecting the form of taxation, mBank has a proposal for you. They now have a dedicated accountant who works with mBank and can help you with all of this when starting your own business. So if you want, start your own business, and we, together with Dominik, will get to work. And this episode will also be dedicated to people who could start a business like yours and work in this field, but also for private individuals who have such a wall?
Yes, sure, of course. Here, low pressure cleaning agents. I think it's not that complicated.
Because I have such a wall myself.
Yeah, I have a wall to wash.
I have such a wall, my wife says. Why don't we wash at our place, only at someone else's? We drive all these kilometers to your place for a job. But I say, I'll learn how to do it, then I'll wash it myself at home. Stay until the end of this video to learn with us.
The most important equipment besides the cleaning agents, although when washing the facade it's not that crucial, what's important is to have warm water, while the pressure is a third order concern.
Okay, so it's not like we might think that we're washing this wall with high pressure?
No, it's not like that at all. The facade is delicate, so handle it carefully and apply minimal pressure to avoid damage. The washer looks big and powerful, but fortunately we can lower the pressure there, something that will definitely make cleaning easier for us, wands, several lengths. We'll adjust it so it's comfortable, so it doesn't splash on us, but also so we can clean a fairly large area from one spot to make it efficient. On top, on the roof rack, there are telescopic wands for applying chemicals as well as for pressure washing. We'll check it out, test that option and see if you like it.
This car is quite well equipped, so you're prepared for everything when it comes to washing.
I'd like to be prepared for everything, but some things can still surprise me. The car is still at that stage, let's say, of construction. It's new. I'm slowly, gradually switching over to it. It's not exactly how I dreamed it would be yet, but it's getting pretty close.
So, let's get changed. Sure, of course.
Oczywiście.
Perfect clothes for 30 degrees in the shade.
So I think we'll start by connecting the washer. It will be filling up. The washer has a water tank, but it's not very big, so we also need to get water from the client. When it comes to washing the facade, we use almost no water. Let's take it out. Wojtek, here's the water, you can connect it.
Okay, I found it. Turn it on. I don't know if I should turn it on, I can't hear anything. Turn it on!
Yes, definitely, yes.
Well, I didn't hear.
Here at this moment, water is flowing into the washer's tank. From that tank, the washer will feed the water onward.
Are we doing this with hot or cold water?
We wash with hot water.
Hot water, but always. So if we have a washer at home and it's only, let's say for cold water, we connect it. We have no way to heat it up.
You can wash part of the facade with cold water. There's no need to exaggerate, but there are types of dirt where hot water will definitely help you.
Okay, so you can heat it up in a kettle.
Sure, definitely. Let it keep running like that, and in the meantime, we'll get to the cleaning solutions. There's no such thing as one concentration of a solution that works for every type of facade. Some commenters want one solution for every facade, but that's not how it works.
High foaming concentrate for deep cleaning.
So that's what we'll use. Of course, everyone has their favorite cleaning solutions and we'll add some water to it. That's what's cool about a washer like this. You know, it always has water, so if you want to wash yourself or something, you can just run some in here and top it up.
So is it 1 part liquid and 5 parts water, or the other way around?
Something like that. You know, there are facades where it really matters, but this facade will be quite forgiving.
Oh, I just took it out too late.
Sometimes with certain cleaning solutions, you have to wait 15 or 30 minutes after applying them, so you use that time to take things out. Here, this one is good because it works quickly, so it's good to have everything ready.
And the kind of equipment you need to get started doesn't have to be as professional as what we see here, a big trailer. We wash houses in neighborhoods, leave a business card and flyer, and earn money. What is the initial investment needed?
I think today I wouldn't even start without several tens of thousands of zlotys. There are a lot of businesses. If someone isn't involved in this field, they might think that nobody washes facades. Believe me, there are a lot of such people all over Poland, but honestly,
I've never actually seen anyone washing a facade in real life. So driving through Gliwic's first, fifth or seventh neighborhood where I live, I've never seen anyone washing a facade. I've seen plastering and paving, but not facade washing, so maybe there's still a market for it.
In Gliwic, I can name 20 people who would gladly come to wash a facade.
All right, but aside from the fact that someone is already there, obviously there's plenty of room in the market, so you can still get into it on a small scale. So what, several tens of thousands of zlotys to have a trailer for those lances with, let's say...
Not a trailer, because unfortunately a trailer costs several 100,000 zlotys. But such a wheeled pressure washer plus a wheeled hot box, which is a device for heating water, that's the classic setup to get started. Actually, it also depends on the person, because you can start with one spray gun, one hose, one pressure washer, one wand, and you can still say you have a business, right? You know, I probably have about 10 wands myself. It should be effective, and ideally you should still make something on it.
We'll also talk in this episode about what you get out of this business, how much you earn, how much you make per square meter, how much stays in your pocket, so be sure to stay until the end of this video. And if you're curious about anything in the meantime regarding facade cleaning work, be sure to write in the comments. We'll definitely answer.
Let's turn it on and look. Here we can set how hot the water should be. This is about 50 degrees, maybe less, and here we set what pressure we should have, 1/3 of the power, but we'll still check it and test it out.
So here you could say, based on your own experience, you know what the effect should be and how to choose the right settings.
I can already see the wall. I have a rough idea, but sometimes I test it and I'm still not satisfied. Something like that. I mean, I have no idea what will come out, because maybe it turns out that it won't, but let's see. Whether you wash this way or that way, it doesn't matter at all. The most important thing is to wash in a way that you have a gentle overlap here. You don't have to hold it close, because of course sometimes there's this habit that if it doesn't come off, you get closer, right? No. Look.
There it is, that's the effect.
These are those YouTube effects, before and after. Gently, the nozzle is far away. It's not the pressure that's cleaning, it's the cleaning chemicals. Ideally, that's how the facade should clean up.
What more can I say? Let's get to work.
We'll start from the top, unless you'd prefer to begin at the bottom. Why? You know, I usually wash from the bottom, and that's how it should be done, because then you don't rinse off the chemicals. And then, if you wash this way, look, you go from the bottom to the top, and when you're at the top, you rinse, and it's fine. But with such a small wall, it doesn't really matter here. Wait, but if I rinse at the top, the dirt flows down, so it's not really... On a wall like this, it doesn't matter, but imagine washing an apartment building. Apply the chemicals from the top down. By the time you reach the bottom, everything is rinsed off. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So let's let it in. Oh. Did I hit that? Ah, it'll wash off. A hole in the facade. I'll turn it on for you. All right. So here, look, the chemicals will go and the liquids will flow like this, so you have to apply them this way. Now you'll do the whole wall for me. I'm just like my dad, for example. I explain, and suddenly it turns out it's over. The wall is already done. I came to get it. Hold on, I'll turn it off now. Before we start, for safety, it's good to wet all the metal and plastic parts. So, for example, if you have downspouts, it's good to soak them. If you have plastic windows, it's good to wet them. And if you have plastic soffit, it's also good to wet it. Is this some kind of protection? You might just have bad luck, maybe 1 in 1,000, and end up with a spot on a plastic part since it's still plastic. Sometimes liquids and plastic don't mix well. So why bother, right? Why? It's something that doesn't cost us anything, and if we apply it, give it to me, I'll reach over there and put it on just above the window, and then you can stand there. Yeah, leave it, I'll do everything myself, okay? Listen, I like that. I'll just be standing here while you're washing over there. Listen, that's the kind of job I've been fighting for. So are you ready? Turn on the pump. I need to figure out a technique. If you want me to turn it off, just know I'm focusing. How do you feel? It's great. Okay, here, under this. Honestly, it's okay. Yes, this is also an important spot. Honestly, I don't even know where I sprayed anymore because it all blends together for me. That's why it's good to apply from the bottom, but from the top it's really not a mistake at all, you know. Hey, here it is. This is the answer to the question of why you should start from the bottom. Honestly, I can say that I would prefer to start from the bottom because now everything has run down. Thanks for watching. I'm not helping. No, it's washed really well. I see that you found your technique where you already feel confident. Definitely, you can see that after just a few seconds, and it's an experience that helps you feel more comfortable. But look at this technique. It's amazing how I've already worked it out. No, seriously, honestly, I'm shocked. Oh, it's not an easy job, seriously, with a lance like this, you know, if I have to do the whole house at once. Remember, this is a lance, I don't remember what it's made of. I'm not great with technical stuff, but it's probably some kind of fiber, so I suspect it's one of the lighter ones. Yeah, for sure. The liquid is working, so the wall looks cleaner, but you still need to use gentle pressure. Be careful when you start, and when it's time, go here. Exactly, because that's also important. And from my own experience too, whether we're cleaning, let's say like at a car wash, you do it at an angle to wash off the dirt. You wash while always maintaining a 90-degree angle to the wall and the same distance, then rinse everything off the same way. A lot of information to remember, but no, keep your ears open. My dear friends, stay until the end of this episode because maybe tomorrow or the day after you'll get to work and wash the facade of your own house yourselves. And your wife will finally love you even more than she did at the moment you're watching this. Greetings to all the wives. Hey, or maybe your husband will love you because wives also wash the facade. Wives also wash the facade. Of course, because the wife sees that it's ugly.
Well, but anyway, if your wives or you are washing the facade, be sure to write it in the comments, or if you have an ugly wife.
Also mention it in the comments, you can wash her too. But seriously, Wojtek, don't keep it in one place for too long. Oh, what's that? Closer, I think you could. Also notice which areas you clean thoroughly and which you miss. If you see that the result is nice. Wow, it cleaned up beautifully.
Oh, it's not easy, it's not easy. What's even worse is that it's so close to the edge, because if it were farther away, maybe I could relax more. And here it's so close, oh my god.
Yes, Wojtek, just to be clear, maintain the same distance. I didn't urge him to take that position.
So you get some water, and in the meantime, leave a like on this video. We'd really appreciate it.
And here you'll have a telescopic lens. It's the same thing we used to apply the chemicals, but inside, look, you have a high pressure hose running through it. And in a way, it's like an extension of your hand.
So I won't have to climb a ladder anymore?
Yes, but it won't be easy since you're here and cleaning up the air.
So I'm fighting for my life here, folks. It's being ripped out of my hands. As we mentioned earlier, there isn't much equipment costing tens of thousands of zlotys, especially for beginners looking to enter this business. If we want to grow, there are no limits to development in this business.
You know, you could have just one lance, because actually you could attach a gun to the same lance, add an extra section, basically detach the last section and just put in a pressure hose. But if you want to work efficiently, you see we apply separately, we wash separately, we already have the same connectors, so we just switch them, there's no messing around, and then it goes smoothly. However, if someone wrote in the comments, why have 3 lances when you can have just one? Well, yes, you can have just one.
And if someone wrote in the comments that they want to start their own business, their own company, I can help you with that too. I can help indirectly because I once made an episode where I explain how to set up such a business from A to Z without leaving your home, using your laptop or computer with the support of mBank. So you can click the link that's in the description, watch that episode, or it's also showing up somewhere here. Click it, check it out, and everything is explained there.
Either way, just see if you're able to achieve anything with it. And again, slowly, don't rush. It's not like it's Friday at 3 p.m. and you're washing faster than you would on Friday at noon.
But it's going well.
Wojtek's really going for it.
It's a fight for dear life, folks. The higher the pressure, the more intense it gets. The pressure stays the same, but it just slips out of my hands.
I'll tell you this, that one's bossing Wojtek around.
Unless secret number 2 is standing there. God, now he's gonna break the window. I lost my ear.
Show me. No?
I think it's alive.
It's not rocket science, like I said before, this wall isn't flying into space. But to clean it well, you definitely need to rinse it slowly and gently, and believe me, it'll definitely be easier that way.
In my opinion, my work turned out well. Dominik will judge me in a moment. In the meantime, I want to ask you something. What's the surface area of this wall here?
We have just under 50.
50 square meters?
50, yes, with windows.
Okay, so 50 square meters of this wall here. First we sprayed it with chemicals, then we cleaned it with water under low pressure.
And finally, it would be good to wash the windows for the client, but sometimes also for yourself. If there are leftover streaks from, for example, cleaning fluids, then when, I don't know, the sun shines on it, it might be hard to clean, you know, so it's for yourself, but also for the client, just for peace of mind.
How does it work financially? 50 meters of this cleaned wall?
Just like everywhere in construction, the larger the area, the cheaper it definitely is.
For a square meter like that, right?
Okay, walls like that, I think you should expect to pay from 15 to, I don't know, 20 something zlotys.
Per square meter of washing?
Washing with detergent, plus you can optionally add mold removal. Window washing shouldn't cost extra.
So for a wall like that, 50 meters, we should charge, I don't know, around 1,000 zlotys?
Yeah, I think from 700 up to 1,500 zlotys.
From 700 to 1,500 zlotys for a wall like that. You need a lot of equipment, but could you wash that wall alone? How long would it take? 50 square meters?
Well, Wojtek, I don't know how to tell you this, but an hour for everything?
You earn 1,000 zlotys per hour?
Sometimes it's just half an hour. People multiply that by hours. So 10 hours means 10,000 zlotys a day. And if you wash every day, that's about 3,600,000 a season. Those are the numbers we're talking about.
You could make that much. But honestly, how many of those, let's say, jobs, walls, square meters are you actually able to wash in a day?
It depends. Are you washing on an apartment block where the surface area is larger and the rate is lower that demands more effort? Maybe more, sometimes a larger amount of equipment. Among other things, for example, a bucket lift, which is also quite expensive. In that case, the lift is usually included in the price, so you also have to calculate such things for yourself. I know guys who wash about 100 square meters an hour on a block like that. So you can wash 1,000 square meters in a day, of course. It has to be a lucky day and everything has to come together. There are a lot of factors involved in that. But typically on houses where a house consists of several walls, sometimes there's a driveway, some walls are easier, and sometimes you really have to figure things out. Well, let's say a building like that, you can clean it in one day, totally at your own pace. Yeah, I catch myself thinking that it's all so easy.
And honestly, now that I've been here, it's neither easy nor pleasant, but for sure, as you gain more experience, it gets easier, and the more equipment you have, that helps too. But I'm soaked up to my armpits inside this suit, exhausted after cleaning 50 square meters. We're halfway through. Fighting with one wand or the other, so it's not an easy job, but no job is if you want to earn good money. But it's cool that you can scale this business, buy better equipment, grow, and keep cleaning. And that's actually pretty cool, but to earn 3.5 million zlotys in a year like you really need a ton of equipment. So you can start from scratch, or you can invest more and, like Dominik, make facades look this beautiful.
And here we'll take two more things, the hose and the brush. We'll apply this cleaning fluid using a brush like this. It'll be easier because you can comfortably rest the wand against the wall.
I'll be reading those comments in a moment. More equipment than talent, but in my case, I've got less talent than Dominik.
Don't worry, I read the same comments too. We'll set the angle in a moment. Here, hold this, that'll be your equipment. We're using the same one for the chemicals, but we still need to pour in the liquid, Wojtek, but you can go ahead.
And when we wash something like this, do you give any kind of guarantee, that it won't get dirty again? That's rather hard to promise.
But just like at a car wash, right? But of course, yes, if we use the product that, would make water not soak in, right? Yes, of course, that's possible.
So, on average, for a house like you mentioned, if someone washes it more often, like we said, 250 square meters, then how much does it cost?
The range is about 1,500 to 2,000 for washing.
1,000?
Zloty per meter.
Per meter, that's what we go with.
I also once had a client like that. I said, I'll wash your paving stones for a tenner, and he brought 10,000. For a small piece. He said, that's what we agreed on after all, a tenner. 10 zlotys per square meter for about 200 square meters is 2,000 zlotys. I thought it was 10,000, but at least I'll have money for fuel. Nice client, so maybe 15 to 20.
So as a private customer, you should expect to pay about 34,000 to have a house washed. The house in half a day. Not bad.
No, I think that with 250, you either have a whole day or even 2 days. Because sometimes you have to, for example, secure something, you have to go back to something, and then at the end you have to wash the windows. When you wash, for example, in July, it's a completely different day than if you washed in September. Here it's already dark by 7:30 p.m. So listen, if you're already prepared, at the end we put on the brush and you'll brush like this. For me, the light bristle brush is for washing windows so I don't mix them up, and the dark bristle one is for applying the liquid. Because this is the kind of channel, Wojtek, where you take on different jobs, right? So I shouldn't feel bad that you did all the cleaning, right?
No, it's always been like that.
All right.
And I try to stick to that.
Subtitles Whitfurnia PL, visit Whitfurnia. PL services subtitles Whitfurnia.
If you haven't seen, dear viewers, the episode where I worked at a hand car wash because I was scrubbing cars like this, then click up here. The episode will appear. Be sure to check it out because it was really great. The whole car wash business in just 1,520 minutes. Out of all these stages, I like the scrubbing the most. Somehow I see success in my work here. I'm really very satisfied. Subtitles Whitefurnia PL. Visit Whitefurnia PL services. The wall has been cleaned and an antifungal agent has been applied. What do you think? Can Can you see the difference?
No, I think it's nice. Of course, we're waiting for it to dry, but I think it's going to be pretty good.
But apart from the water we used, which could be ours or the client's, and the equipment we've already talked about, there was also the cleaning solution. What are the costs for such an investment?
This was an easy wall. Here we used very little of the cleaning solution. You saw we used literally this much from the container from that 20-liter one. A 20-liter container costs 300 to 500 zlotys depending on what product you use, but one container covers several facades or large areas.
Okay, so after all, there are still some costs involved in all the work you do. In your opinion, out of everything you do, like facades, paving stones, painting roofs, and so on, what is the best?
I love washing roofs and I love washing concrete roof tiles. My channel could be called Dominik Washes Concrete Roof Tiles. I could do this every day. I like it. You stand comfortably as if on the ground, and to be clear, we're not avoiding the topic of money. The pay is decent since some sections are like facades, but washing a roof like that is much faster. I don't like washing paving stones.
You don't like it, but for me?
Most of the time, it's fine.
In my opinion, what we showed here is that I prefer to bend down and wash the pavers rather than hold the lance and have it yank my hands. It's just my individual approach. So today I would have earned about 1,000 zlotys for this wall if I'd done it in an hour, not in 6. No, well...
You'd get 300 zlotys, I'd get 700, you as...
I'm saying if I had all my own equipment and worked for myself. So thank you very much for inviting me into your world of facade cleaning. Since we're discussing self-employment, this episode's partner was mBank Dear Do Roboty channel viewers. Which means the episode I once made about how you can start your own business with the help of mBank. Go ahead and check it out. If you want to start your business with mBank, just click, the links are there. Leave a thumbs up under this video, leave a comment like I asked you before, subscribe, and what else? Go ahead and start your own business, or let me know where you work.
This is Wojtek Kaczmarczyk. I'm really glad you made it to the very end. Thank you for watching this video, and I encourage you to check out more videos on the Do Roboty channel. Click on the next video and see what interesting things I filmed in it.